It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go back to February the 19th of the year 2023 when the Nashville Predators were in Minnesota to take on the Wild in a critical Central Division matchup. John Hines deploys his lines in the following way. Granlund, Johansson, and Duchesne make up your first line. Niederreiter, Glass, and Tomasino. Trennan, Sissons, and Janot. Smith, Novak, and Parsonen. Your defensive pairings are McDonough and Yossi, Ekholm and Luzon, Gravel, and Fabro. And in net, UC Saros gets the start. 1:30 into the first period, and it's Middleton's shot has to be stopped by UC Saros. It's the first shot on goal of the game for either of the teams. 1:55 of the first, Saros comes up with a save on Boldy. 5:09 into the first period, Kaprizov off the box, 2 minutes for hooking. Saros comes up with a save on Eriksson X, partial shorthanded breakaway. Gustafsson then comes up with a save on Duchesne, his first save of the game. But then it would be UC Saros coming up with another shorthanded save, and it was on Dewar, partial breakaway. And then Niederreiter gets in the crease area, and he saves the rebound from going in. Really, really great play by Nino Niederreiter right here. The Preds giving up golden scoring opportunities while they have the extra attacker. 7:22 into the first period, Kaprizov's gets a chance off the rush, and out of the penalty box, it is saved by UC Saros. So again, the Minnesota Wild getting great opportunities and getting in behind the Preds defense. At 11:11 off the first period, Gustafsson comes up with a save on Fabro. 11:32, Saros comes up with a save on Boldy. 13:20, Fabro's off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. UC Saros would come up with a huge save on Brodin, and the Nashville Predators penalty kill would do enough. 15:48 of the first period, Gustafsson comes up with a save on Johansson. Not a lot happening. Tight checking game. The final couple of minutes of the first period. We hit the end of the first period. Minnesota is out shooting the Nashville Predators 13-7. We are just 9 seconds into the second period, and Duhaime's got his 5th goal of the season. It was a tip off the Freddie Gaudreau shot in the low slot area. Minnesota now has a 1-0 lead in this game, and it took just 9 seconds onto the clean sheet of the second period. 1:11 of the second period, Luzon's off the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. That's when Kaprizov's going to go to work, giving the Minnesota Wild a 2-0 lead. His 32nd goal of the season was a rebound put back from the low slot. He knows exactly where to go, and he knows exactly how to finish, and that's what Kaprizov does right here to give Minnesota a 2-0 lead early in the second period. 5:11 in the second period, Fabro goes off the box, 2 minutes for tripping. Plenty of zone time for Minnesota, but frankly, they were getting too cute trying to set up the backdoor play multiple times. The Nashville Predators are able to survive. 8:33 of the second period, Gustafsson comes up with a save on Yossi's sharp angle shot. At 8:41, Saros comes up with a save on Greenway breakaway, and then at 12:49, Gustafsson a save on Glass. 15:12, Gustafsson a save on Yossi. 17:03, the Nashville Predators get to the moment they've been trying to find this entire game. It's Tommy Novak breaking through for his 7th goal of the season. It comes off of the rush. He looks off the D, drags the puck, and then shoots it bar down. Great look off and then rip release. Tommy Novak's 7th goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators some hope heading to the end of the second period. Minnesota's leading 2-1 after 2 periods. They are out shooting the Nashville Predators 25-17. Just like the second period into the third period, the Minnesota Wild are getting on the board early and quick. 1:23 into the third period. It's Kaprizov's 33rd goal now of the season. It was a wrist shot off of the inside of the post, off of the rush. Nashville Predators having some difficulties with Kaprizov in this game. Now 3-1 in favor of the Minnesota Wild. The Minnesota Wild are starting to lock things down in the neutral zone, especially in their own defensive end. But the Nashville Predators get an opportunity for 14 in the period when Duar's off the box, 2 minutes for holding on Tommy Novak. The Predators would generate 3 shots on goal, get some good zone time, but it would be mostly kept to the outside, exactly where the Minnesota Wild were allowing them to play. At 10:04 of the third period, Nino Niederreiter off to the box, 4 minutes, double minor for high sticking. Saros would have to come up with a huge save on Hartman. Saros would also have to come up with a save on Zuccarello, but the Nashville Predators would be able to kill off the 4-minute power play for the Minnesota Wild. 15:04 of the third period. The captain Roman Yossi's 15th goal of the season comes off of a wrist shot with traffic and goes through the arm, and it is the Minnesota Wild now leading by only 1, 3-2 here in the third period. 19:13 of the third period with UC Saros pulled in the extra attacker on. Nino Niederreiter scores his 15th goal of the season. It was a high tip off of Yossi's shot in the slot. plenty of traffic and bodies in the route. That ties the game up at 3 apiece. So with the extra attacker on the Nashville Predators, with just 47 seconds to go in this game, they find a way to tie this game up at 3 apiece. Unfortunately for the Nashville Predators at 19:40, with just 20 seconds remaining in the game, former Nashville Predator Hartman scores his 7th goal of the season off of McDonough, then off of Hartman and into the net. The Minnesota Wild hold a 4-3 lead, and they're able to maintain that lead for the final 20 seconds of regulation. They outshoot the Nashville Predators 35-25, and they, of course, win the game 4-3. Valiant effort by the Nashville Predators to fight back from down 2-0 on the road, second day of back-to-backs. But once they had this game locked up at 3 apiece, they should have been able to close out that final 40 seconds. Now, I understand John Hines was visibly upset about the icing call that was called that directly led to this goal against the Nashville Predators. The officials missed that one. They got that one wrong. That's not going to make anything better or anything right. But that bad call by the officials and that icing call is one of the direct reasons that the Nashville Predators had to take a face-off deep in their own zone, could not deploy the alignment that they wanted at that point in time, and the reason that former Pred Hartman was able to get himself a goal. It has been a continuous tour of former Nashville Predators scoring against the Preds, and that continues today in this game with Hartman getting the game-winning goal against one of his many former teams, the Nashville Predators. The Preds let this one slip away. They came back from down 2-0, came back from down 3-2, and had it tied up with just 47 seconds left in the game. They could not hold on. They fall in Minnesota 4-3, and they also fall in the standings. What a wild swing that was. If they were able to win that game today, they would currently be only 3 points behind the Minnesota Wild in the standings. Instead, they are 7 points behind the Minnesota Wild in the standings. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We've got the Renegades of Puck in the trenches coming up in the next segment. We've got analysis. We've got Sean C. Smith. We've got Brian Bass. We've got the box score and so much more coming up right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. That's coming to you next.